Good morning, Flosstube friends. I have been terrible about filming my weekly updates. They have turned into monthly updates. I don't know what's going on, just life, but I think I will do my best to commit to do every other week. But I don't know. It's a rough schedule sometimes, and I gather my things to film and something comes up. But today is President's Day. It is Monday, February 19th, and my dear husband is off today, so he has taken the noisy dog with him into a bedroom to read. We have peace and quiet. I am so grateful for that. I hope you've been well. So many sweet comments and likes, and I appreciate all of you and ask that you keep that up. It keeps me going. Thank you for all your videos. I'm very behind in watching, but always enjoy seeing what you're doing and catching up on life in your corner of the world. So many fun things today. I have a finish. If you see my Magnolia Nana on Instagram, you will have seen a picture of the finish. And then, of course, a new start and some ideas of future projects. Remember, we're stitching from stash. It's killing me, but I'm getting things done. So we're going to do this. So my finish today is the partner piece to this lovely Rosslyn Chapel sampler, which you have seen in a previous video. And the piece that I have finished is a larger sampler. It was a Christmas gift from my daughter, who is a graduate student over there. And this is the larger piece, Rosslyn Chapel sampler. If you are interested at all in history, I would commend to you a YouTube video. If you search Rosslyn Chapel, you will find an almost hour-long video on this amazing chapel, built as you see in this sampler in 1446, and it was commissioned by the owner of that property in Rosslyn for family worship. But if you watch this YouTube video, you will be intrigued by all that went into the construction as well as the preservation of this amazing chapel. It is south of Edinburgh. It is a bus ride away and out in the beautiful Scottish countryside. And as I have told you before, this sampler reflects the colors that you see most in the countryside there. And I had hoped to give you more comments on the motifs in the sampler, but I am watching the video again for a second time, and I will need to learn more myself. But let me just tell you the most interesting part that I learned on my second watching. The stonemasons who were hired in the 1400s to build the chapel were brought to the area of Rosslyn, and the Duke, I believe he was a Duke, wanted these masons so badly that he built them all a house and gave them land, and that is the origin of the town of Rosslyn, Scotland. And I learned that the master mason was paid £40 a year, which in our currency would be up to 6 figures of dollars. The other masons were paid £10 per year, which would have made their salary along the $50,000 in our currency. These were highly paid men. And if you see in the video the skill of the carving in the stone, you will understand why they were so highly paid. But very quickly, let's go over a few of the motifs which I know I may have even commented on before. The fleur-de-lis, because the St. Clair family came from Normandy, who developed this land, and they have owned it all these years. Then you see the cross. This is one of the columns that is so famous and carved. All the columns are carved. Of course, another cross here, the rose motif. You will see these leaves all over the chapel. And then the angels, one of whom is playing a bagpipe, the other holding a heart. But there is so much to learn about this amazing building. So I commend that to you. I will do my best to put the link below for the video. If you love history, you will love this. And we are learning as we go what a rich heritage is there. Now, an update on my Coffee Quaker. You all know that I had done a blue conversion, and we have progress, yay. I think when I saw you last, I had finished, please excuse my fumbling, I had finished this motif here and the bird. So since then, I have had to frog a flower down here that had been put in the wrong place, but I have added this motif, put the proper designs here. I want to say this one is new, not sure. And then I'm needing to finish, then I do the things. So again, I'm wanting a finish so much on this. But when you see my new start, you will understand what has taken me away. I didn't think anything would take me away from this, but we're going to go back and forth to get this done. I thought very quickly today I would give you the DMC colors that are in my conversion. I had put them on an Instagram post, but I know that many of you might not be on Instagram. As I said, this is my first conversion ever, so I cannot even claim to know anything about what I'm doing. I chose the colors by what I love with the help of my artist daughter, who would say, yes, yes, that looks good. So I'm going to read you the DMC colors, hopefully in order. And if anyone is interested in a blue conversion, it will give you a quick reference. 792, 793, 794. Then we skip to 796, 798, and 800. Those are the colors that I used. And if that is not enough for the number of colors that the project calls for, I just used one color more often, which so far has worked out well. So I hope that will help anyone who is interested in that. I do know that a wonderful Flosstuber who is also a subscriber to my channel is doing a pink conversion, and all of a sudden the channel, the name just left my head. This is so embarrassing. I love watching her videos. She's from Oklahoma. Okay, it will come back to me. Crafting? No. Stitching? Well, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to put it down below. Forgive me for senior moment. I love her channel and she is doing a pink conversion. We must send you to her. Okay, the start that has taken me a little bit away from my Coffee Quaker is from the book, which I showed you in another video that I acquired after the Christmas break at Half Price Books with a coupon. Because I am missing my grandson who is growing up in Okinawa, I decided to channel that heartache into something for him that I lovingly stitch. And his mom chose out of this book the elephant sampler. We love these colors. It will go beautifully in his nursery. So I want to show you my elephants. These are addicting as well. I have had more fun stitching these elephants. Would you look at that? I hope that's focusing. So we have the gray elephant and the yellow elephant, and you see the blue line where I have left my thread, and my needle will be the blue elephant. It is a fairly quick stitch because the solid body of the elephant is all one color, and then there is no back stitching except for the little eyes. And you see that she puts the whimsy in the elephant's ears and the little heart patch. So we will do the blue elephant and then probably some of the alphabet. And this is done on a white even weave, just from Michael's with a coupon, but a very soft, easy to use fabric. We did want the white to go with the furniture in his nursery. So excited to be doing that. And I did not do a flip through of this book for you all, but I have so many projects in here that I would love to do. Isn't that always the way? Let me show you the elephant sampler again, because I do want to say that at the bottom, under the third row of elephants, we will put his name centered under the orange elephant. In this picture, it looks more muted than it is, but what fun for a little boy. So all my Nana love is going into stitching those elephants for him. I'd like to take a quick public service announcement pause to recommend a book that I just finished. And you know, I promised you there would be times I had to throw a book out there. This one is in audiobook form because I have been listening to it, and I love this narrator. He narrates all of Jan Karen's books. I do not know if you have read any of hers before, but I have loved her series of Mitford books. The main character is Father Tim, an Episcopal priest. This is the last book, the new one that just came out, To Be Where You Are. And it was heartwarming, it was funny, it was just all that we want a book to be. So if you have not read her Mitford series, you need to start at the beginning. But this is the last one, and I highly recommend her writing to you. If you have done all of her others, be sure to get this one, either from your public library or purchase, because you will be thrilled with the way she continues the story of the families in Mitford. Okay, enough public service book reviews. Now, I had mentioned in one video that I had started a historic castle kit. This is Stirling Castle, which we saw and was most unhappy with the way it looked. I'm assuming on the white Ada. Maybe that's what I was not liking. Where is my white backing? Okay, here we are. So this was my start on the kit fabric, the white Ada, which unfortunately is very stiff. It's not a bad start, don't get me wrong, but I'm not excited about it. So my thought was this, and any comments would be appreciated. I have a good bit of this blue even weave, which a friend graciously shared with me. I don't know if the true color is coming through. It's a muted blue, but a pretty close sky blue. I'm wondering if I could restart Stirling Castle. Let me try to put the two up here and see if I would be happier with my finished product. I really want this finished since it was one of the lovely places we visited. And I'm wondering if the blue would set the castle off better than the white. So this is going to be a trial run. We'll see what I decide. But another historic travel piece that I love to have displayed in my home as a remembrance of a special trip. Now, two other works in progress that I have not shared in a while. Actually, one work in progress and one possible start. Everyone loves Prairie Schooler, and I did not acquire a lot of these graphs, but this one is entitled April because I love spring. And I know last year before I started filming YouTube, I had put on Instagram some smalls that I did for some friends of these 3 motifs. I had started this one at that time, maybe back in last April, and I absolutely love everything about this design. But another question for those of you who are so good at selecting fabric, I had decided to do it on the same blue that I'm speaking of, and somehow I just lost interest. But you see, we have a good part of the middle of the design finished. Lighting may not allow me to get a good opinion from you guys, but I guess since I've done this much, I should just finish this piece and love it. It might be a sweet flat fold, something to put out in the spring. I do love the ducks and the butterfly and the bluebird. So anybody have an opinion, give it to me, but I do think at this point finishing is the best approach. Such a sweet, sweet design. I don't even know what got me discouraged. Now that I look at it, I like it a lot. So any ideas? I'll keep you posted on what I do with that one. I'm wondering about this as another little spring start. I had ordered it last year, and I have seen several of you working on this. I know there were people on Instagram who were. I love rabbits and houses, and this is such a quaint prairie schooler. It's called Rabbit Run. If you have done this piece, please comment. Did you use the called for colors? It actually calls for what fabric? I don't think it says. No, it just gives the finished size. Oh yes, it does. White Jobelin, 32 count. 32 count Jobelin, so an even weave. But all those precious small bunnies and animals in the midst of the bigger ones. So maybe a new start in the next month or so. Love the design. Well, I'm running long, and I don't like to do that to you all. I want the video to be short and easy to watch. But I did want to share very briefly a little bit about why I decided to do this Flosstube channel, because I think it might help those of you who can't decide if you want to film, or you may be discouraged with your subscriber base or your filming or something about the process. Having been a mom of a large family all those years, my time and my energies were all focused on my family, schooling them, helping with all the extracurricular, running the home, constant busyness. And as each child left the home for school, marriage, career, things got quieter and quieter. And of course, you know, I'm working full-time now, but that didn't take, I guess, the part of me that was the creative, nurturing part. And I think that's such a large part of who I am as a person. So when I found out that another child was about to leave and going to be so far away, I decided, with her encouragement and of course the encouragement of others in my family, to give this a try, to channel that creative, nurturing energy into sharing something about my craft, my love of stitching. And I know that's why we all film, ultimately, to share that love and to be a part of this community. But I need to let you know at this point that it has done that for me. It has given me something to plan and think about and get excited about. And it has also lit a fire under me to stick with a project that I'm working on because I want to share it with you. So thank you for receiving these amateur efforts and for loving me back as I share with you. And just know that if you have things you want to let us know about your love for cross stitch and for the creative process, we want to hear that because it encourages us and it keeps us moving in the next direction of what we want to do. I think over the years, the reason I would put my stitching aside is because there wasn't a community to share with and not a group of encouragers to say, oh, you can do this, go, finish, yes, try that. So enough about me today, but just a little brief explanation of why I gave this a try and how much it has meant to me. And I hope to encourage anyone out there who might be either discouraged with their filming efforts or afraid to start or maybe a little bored with their stitching. Sometimes the talking it out, the questioning, and then of course the sharing is what makes this such a precious craft. I'm not in a stage of life to do retreats or stitch-alongs very well. I'm kind of a failure in the one stitch-along I just signed up for. But I'm in a stage to let you know what I'm trying to do and share just that little piece of me. So thank you for your love and your attention, and let me just encourage you to share with all of us what you are doing and what you love, because you'll grow and we will grow from learning with you. Have a wonderful week, lots of stitching. I hope to see you next week, but I won't promise. As soon as possible, as soon as I have some updates. Please check out my Instagram account, Magnolia Nana. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate that. Likes, comments, that makes us excited and gives us motivation. Love you all and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.